Hello and welcome. This is Agachak here, and we're going to be playing Wizardry 8 utilizing the Flamestryke mod. This game was re-released on Steam not too long ago, and I've seen a lot of other Let's Plays for it, but I haven't seen any that have used any of the mods that are available. So I thought I'd sit down and create one and see if you guys enjoy it or not. I've kind of already gone ahead and started a party here a little bit, just to cut down on some of the time. We're going to utilize a melee heavy party on this adventure. Starting out with Lord Darish, who is obviously a lord, followed by Remo the monk. Let's see here. I wanted to put a samurai in this time around. Samurais kind of get a bum rap in this game. We've talked to a lot of people. They're not overly impressed with them. And I think there's a lot of fun factor involved because, I mean, really, how many RPGs are out there that you actually get to play a samurai? So they have a pre-made one here, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and use him for this adventure, and we'll make modifications as need be. Followed by Aqualung the Bard. Bards are a great class, I think. They're very versatile. There's a lot of instruments that are available, and they fill the need of a magic user and priest to an extent. A lot of the items that they have buff natures and debuffing of the mobs. Followed by Tilan, who is going to be our bishop, another pre-made character that comes. You can just go ahead and select her. I went through and double checked and made sure she's going to have everything that we wanted to utilize for this campaign. And last but not least is Gizmo the Gadgeteer. He's going to fill the role of our ranged attacks. Sometimes I usually take a ranger, but I think for this run through we're going to go with the Gadgeteer, just for the fun factor. There's a lot of devices that he can create, and especially with this Flamestryke mod, there's just going to be a lot of new stuff that you might not have seen before, and it opens up a lot of possibilities. So with that being said, the party is pretty much created here. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. We are going to be playing on expert mode, by the way. There's just no other way around it. I'm not going to do the Iron Man game. That's just ridiculous. I've tried that, and it's pretty brutal. It's not impossible, but I don't think it's going to be very fun to do a Let's Play with an Iron Man session. So, that being said, okay, here we are.
Truly the ways of destiny are beyond our understanding. We must accept our fate and make our own way in this world. I am sure all will be revealed with time.
Alright, there is a cutscene in between. It doesn't like to, Fraps doesn't interact well with it. It doesn't show up. So I had to cut that out. I'll have to do some editing here, I think. But here's the start. You follow the storyline if you want. We've crash landed on this planet, excuse me, and have no idea where we are or what's going on. Actually, if you do play the game, you can watch the cutscene and it'll give you a little bit of the story intro. Right now, we're just gonna dig right into it. So it looks like we got something floating on the ground here. Let's go check it out, see what it is. You can right-click on these items too, and they'll give you a description of what they are. Here we have a potion, Foamy, does resurrection power of 7. And this is a gift from Flame, who is the author of this mod. We're playing the Flamestryke mod. So go ahead and pick that up, and we'll just drop that on Lord. Flame's Note, this is version 4B of the Flame Final mod. So that's one of the things I'll put in the description is a link to this mod and where you can get it. There have been patches that were added to it over time. And this is the final version, 4B. We're just going to leave that right there. We don't need to clutter up the inventory with that. And here we have a random chest. Now, these actually have somewhat of a random generated loot. So if you want, you can quick save it here with Q as default and open it up. And if you're really not too happy with what you get, you can reload and see maybe you can get something a little better next time. Or not. Maybe that's been changed. Well, anyways, we're going to continue on here. We're just going to gather this stuff up. Right-click on your character portrait to open up your inventory. or I believe you can press I. Now I have a potion here that's unidentified, and because we're all level 1, nobody's artifact skill is high enough at this point to identify any of the items, and I don't have the spell. It's a green potion. It's probably a cure poison, or yeah. See, this is a cure poison here. It has the same general shape and excuse me, color. So I'm gonna assume that it's cure poison, although it could be cure disease or something along those lines. But generally, I think if it's green, it's a cure of some nature. Yellow is usually stamina. Blues are heals, and reds are, well, this red is a cure-like condition. See, things are changed a little bit too with this mod because some of the icons and items have been upgraded and had a little, personal taste added to them. So we have a short bow here. We're going to give that to Lord Darish as a missile attack. He has nothing. Remo, the monk, has some shurikens here. Taku, the samurai, no missile attacks. Feathered Hat has 2 AC, so our frontline guy is going to need some armor. He's the only guy up front that doesn't have a headpiece, or at least that can use that. Okay, and I knew there was something else. Stones. The Gadgeteer, you're going to find that the Gadgeteer and the Rangers as well, these guys are going to be going through a lot of ammo towards the mid and late ends of the game. So you're going to really want to stock up. I mean, it's going to be plentiful. You're not going to have a problem finding ammo. However, in the beginning, you're going to want to pick up as many stones as you can. Looks like we got some crabs over here.
Ready.
Bishop is a great class, very versatile. I'm going to focus her as healing. Now, a lot of people have a tough time developing the Bishop in the beginning. Some people want to focus, primarily on healing. Others want to do damage with them. I'm going to focus her on healing to start, as she's got pretty much our only spellcaster at this point. The Lord and the monk will
prepare for battle.
Gain spells later on, healing as one of them. So, right now, primarily the Bishop's going to be doing the healing. I'm not worried too much about magic. Maybe on another playthrough, we'll go through and do a caster-heavy party. This is a melee-heavy party, and it's kind of my preferred play style. Again, the Samurai is kind of thrown in there for a fun factor. I could switch that out with a mage or a ranger, and the bard as well. Either the Samurai or the bard are kind of just, you don't have to go with one. You don't, if you want to use magic users, that's fine too. For this playthrough though, I think we're just going to stick with what we have. Focus the Bishop on healing. And damage, as far as spells go, has been improved with the Flamestryke mod. There are a new spell set that you can get with this.
It shall be so.
So it's different than playing vanilla. There's a little more involved. I think it's a little more fun. Now,
Aye.
don't forget that your bards and your gadgeteers are going to have items later on. Gadgeteers, obviously, you craft the item. I believe there's a couple that you do find. I tend to forget later on that they have these versatile items with them that will do. A lot of them will do area of effect spells, or you'll notice that right here we have 3 crabs in one group. Later on in combat, you'll get 3 crabs and say 1 slime. There will be items that will just affect that one whole group, whether you can see them or not. So you got to remember you have these items, utilize them because they will be needed later on. These are just some pretty basic crabs right here, even though it's on expert. I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem with it. Not sure what Gaddy's doing here. For some reason his hands were equipped and not his weapon. Alright, well that's good, I noticed that. So let's go ahead and click on some combat here. I try and spread their damage out a little bit. These guys tend to do pretty decent damage. So there's some sleep. Let's see what happens. Alright, so all 3 of them fell asleep. Now the only downside to this is, if you don't pay attention, any damage you inflict on these sleeping mobs, they will wake up.
It shall be so.
So I want to focus my attacks on pretty much one guy, get him down as quickly as possible before the other wakes up.
Good.
I thought it said 3 fell asleep. Oh well, not a big deal.
Yes.
We'll just move these guys over to
Shall
attack
be
this
so.
one. Leave that guy sleeping
Very well.
Take this.
and take him down. Hopefully. Now you'll see everybody retargeted, thankfully, to that one guy. Sometimes they'll split it up. I'm not sure how the mechanics work on that. But this time the entire group focused on the one guy that was still sleeping. Later on that can become a problem because you're going to want a group to stay asleep, especially when you're fighting 25 Rapaks. We'll get into that later.
We are victorious.
Alright, we are victorious, and we got some experience out of that. Pretty basic, though. Gets you a little taste of combat. One thing you want to do is turn on the search function. I almost forgot to do that. Now, with Rangers, they're able to search while running, which is a big bonus. If you actually, while you're walking around, if you just push down left shift, I use WSD to move.
Found nothing.
A&D or strafe, and then right mouse button to look around and such. But if you hold down the left shift key, it will actually sprint you. The downside to that is you will lose stamina while you're sprinting, and I believe the more weight that you're carrying, the faster your stamina will go down. Stamina plays a huge part in this game. The combat's going to become a very long and drawn out process towards the end of the game, and you're really going to want your stamina to be as high as possible. One thing that I think a lot of people might overlook is piety. Now, piety, you would think would be your mana pool, which it is, but it also plays has a direct effect upon your max stamina. So, as vitality is good for your hit points, but piety is what you're really going to want for your stamina level. So, when you're creating your characters, keep that in mind, as well as when you're leveling up. Don't forget to put those points into piety as well. A lot of people want to focus on strength and vitality. Personally, I like to go with piety, speed, dexterity, get those capped out as quick as possible, and then worry about strength and stuff. There's going to be a lot of items that you find later on that will increase your stats all around. Fighter specific will be, strength and so forth. So don't worry about, booting up the strength too quickly. Try and focus on getting that piety up there. You'll thank me for it later. This is a pretty basic setup here again with a bunch of crabs.
Okay.
Shouldn't be too hard. This is my very first Let's Play, so I'm probably going to babble a lot because I'm not really sure what I'm doing here other than, playing the game and talking to you guys, or myself as the case may be. So if there are any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the post, and I'll take it to heart. If you don't like something, or you want to see more of something, let me know. And we're pretty much just mowing through these guys. Now you see these white dots here on the radar. These are actually objects that are on the ground. They'll show up. So thruster, obviously a gadgeteer item, probably something you can put together with another item later on and create something. So we'll put that off to the side. I have played through this mod quite a bit, but I have not played it to the point where I know all the ins and outs. I have not beaten the game on this with this mod. So there's going to be a lot of learning for me as well as you.
Nothing found.
So hopefully that'll keep some of the fun in there.
I am suspicious of danger in this area.
Yeah, I am too. There's a bunch of crabs up here.
I smell blood. Lots of blood.
Well, that's telling me that these guys are going to be pretty powerful. There's 5 of them, 6 of us. So we'll see how that turns out. So here's where our sleep spell comes into play again. Hopefully this will be effective on a bunch of them. Make sure you keep all your ranged guys focus on this one mob. Okay, it looks good. Let's go for it. I think one of the tactics on this game too that you're going to want to follow is whenever possible is to back yourself into a corner Doorways and small cul-de-sacs in
Alakahis.
the terrain will help you, because these nice. These monsters are going to want to surround you at all the time. So I tend to keep my casters up front. Here's our party formation. As you can see, the Lord will these guys will highlight here as I hover over them. Keep your melee guys right up front, and I actually want to change this around a little bit and put the Gadgeteer on the outside and keep my bishop protected in the center. You can go ahead and change your party formation at any time during combat, and you guys will shift around. For instance, if I'm being flanked on the left-hand side, I'd pull my melee over to the left, just to make sure that everybody's over there. But outside of combat, you can make these adjustments, and they'll be permanent until you change them later on. So I think for now we're gonna just leave it as it is. It's not a huge issue.
Too far.
No, see, now he's too far away from this side, because our guy's down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the formation. So if I were to move him over to the right, he'd be able to attack that crab. But we're gonna go ahead and keep him sleeping. That way he's not attacking this one that already is. And the bishop, if she can't attack,
Very well.
she can. So we're gonna stay focused on this one that is still awake. Wow, 11 points of damage. That hurt.
Tragedy.
No, this is on expert, so it is going to. These guys are going to take some damage, as well as give some out. We're going to want to heal this guy up pretty quick. I only got about 2 heals, and the difficulty are shades of green to red. Green obviously being the easiest or most likely to succeed. Red means most probable failure. So right now we got a good chance of, 50-50 chance, I'd say, of this spell failing.
Very well.
We're going to think positive here and say that's actually going to work and heal him up. Let's hope so. I'm going to go ahead and give this, this looks good, I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot. Wow, these guys hit hard.
Trade.
I guess they were right to be worried. Nice. The heal was successful. Now, Remo's obviously hurt, so we're going to have to take this last heal wounds.
Very well.
And hopefully that finishes him off. These guys are awake again, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Poet's Loot.
Aye.
Try and put him back to sleep. Keep that one sleeping. We don't want all these guys attacking us. They hit pretty hard. They don't seem to have a lot of hit points, but when they hit, they hurt.
I hope I didn't hurt you.
Oh, looks like he fumbled. He hit the bishop. Not good. Nice, excellent. Sleep spell wore off on 2 of them, but still got one of them going here. We got a bag or something that's in the way. These are crab cakes, I believe. Yeah, crab cakes. They do actually. Geez, now I'm thinking about it. I should give that to somebody. I think they do like heal power 1 or 2, which is helpful. But I think in this situation, we're just going to go ahead and attack.
Too far.
Nope, too far. Put them. See, this is where stamina comes in. Again, every time you use this item, you can see how much stamina he's had drained down now. So you want to keep these guys well stocked with stamina potions, as well as pumping those points into piety. Make sure Tilon doesn't have anything. No, she's out of spell points.
Very well.
The other thing is too, characters that are in this back formation here in the center core, if you give them an extended range weapon like a polearm or a long staff or such, they can hit these creatures that are out here in the front. So you don't have to worry about moving them forward. They can do a little extra damage when they do run out of spell points, and more times than not, I've had them take down the mob on their own. You get the fighters up there, and they whittle it down, and sure enough, here comes the bishop or the priest, and they'll take him out with that 10-point damage staff.
Take this.
Now, thankfully, we didn't wake them up with that. Normally, when you hit a sleeping mob, they will wake up from the damage. But because we're pretty low on stamina here for the bard, we're just going to keep it going here with damage.
Rats. Take
I
this.
don't have any
Take
restore
this.
stamina spells right now, but I believe I have some potions floating around. I'll have to do a little better inventory management. Now you can see, for just being 5 traps to start with, this is a pretty decent fight so far.
Take
Keeping me on my toes.
Yeah.
These guys are taking a little while to take down. I think I will try and put him to sleep again because we have both of them awake.
Aye.
You're gonna find out that these items, such as the Bard's Loot and the Gadgeteer items, there's a lure that you'll get later on. Notice here he's gone unconscious. He's used all his stamina playing the flute there. I mean the lutes, excuse me. So you gotta either have him. Well, right now he can't, but when he wakes up, he can drink a potion, or later on the bishop will have stamina spells, as well as the lord. I believe the samurai gets spells later on as well. I'm not sure. I haven't really played one. The monk definitely does. The problem with that is you're going to have to kind of power level yourself up with spells. You only get so many points per level to spread out among all your attributes. So you gotta kind of pick and choose what you want, and if you start dumping spell points into your casting abilities, they will go up and it'll be a little bit beneficial, but you'll be missing out in the damage aspect of it, which is where you guys kind of really focus your melee. So took a little bit of a beat, not too bad. I think a pretty good first shot at it. Sling here. Who needs a sling?
Found nothing.
Well, he's got Shurikens. We'll give that to him. Problem now is gonna battle axe. Nobody's gonna really use that, but we'll pick it up and sell it. Is ammo. I'm starting to run out of ammo already. I bet you if I look at the Gadgeteer, well, he's down to 46. He's not doing too bad, but he will bleed through those pretty quickly. We're gonna put that off on the side. Oh yeah, let's move the bishop to the center.
Ready.
The Gadgeteer is just as frail. Actually, the Bishop can take a pretty good beating later on. There's going to be armor upgrades and shields that you're going to find later. So the Bishop actually does some damage, especially in this Flamestryke mod. I'm really happy. They did a really good job. Flame did. She did a great job, actually, of balancing the upgraded items and stuff with the encounters that you come across. The encounters have been beefed up. There are new monsters, creatures to encounter. I believe some NPCs and stuff, but it's a good balance job because some of the gear you get, you don't look at it and say, wow, that's really overpowered, but once you start fighting, you know, the upgraded monsters, you're gonna appreciate the stuff that you did grab.